Hey guys, welcome back. Doing another quick stream today. Probably only going to be here for an hour at most, but I think that's going to be more than enough time to get done what we need to get done. So today on the episode, we're going to be doing two things. Basically stuff that we couldn't get done last night, and that was we want to create a new notification for when people try to create a new season for a league that hasn't released their new schedule yet. So for example, if the Super Bowl has just happened and someone wants to create a new season for, let's say, the New York Jets, we don't have the new schedule yet, right? Because the league hasn't released it. And so what we want to do is we want to say, okay, look, if you're searching for your team and we don't have the schedule yet, we want to basically give the person the option to get a notification once that schedule has been loaded into the system so that they can come back and start setting up their new season for the following season kind of thing. So there's going to be a little bit of the notification system in there that we need to build. And then we also need to build a little bit of UI just to say like, hey, this doesn't exist yet. This is enter, like click, maybe check a box or click yes or some kind of interaction that says, hey, you can be notified. Do you want to be notified, kind of thing. And then the other thing that I want to do is one thing that has been kind of bothering me the last little while, and I think it's time to address, is the heading bar here. Originally, there were more things on here, and so it made sense for when a person scrolled for it to be sticky and just stay there. But being that those things aren't there anymore, what I want to do is I actually just want to make this a part of the layout template, so that it just sticks there and it just scrolls with the rest of the page, so it won't hang out here when you scroll. I think it'll just I think it'll look better. I haven't done this yet, like I haven't been playing around with it at all or anything, but I just think now that the site has a little more to it, I think we can just make it a little more standard, I guess, is for lack of a better word. So yeah, let's just get into it. I think we'll tackle the notification thing first, since I really wanted to get that done last night and just we couldn't. And then we'll worry about the templating stuff later, because that should only take like 10 minutes at most. So yeah, so let's dig in and see what we can do. So the first thing we need to think about is when they appear, like when they, so the idea would be like if you click share your tickets and pick your team, you're basically going to say, like, let's say New York Jets. Oh, and actually I don't have any football teams here, so we'll do a hockey team. So we'll just do Calgary. Okay, so right here, we're in the middle of a season, but the idea would be if, you know what, actually, now that we're talking out loud here, I think, so if the season date is in the past, this should still show up, but if it's clicked on, there should, instead of this button being here, there should be some kind of functionality that says, you know, this season is in the past, so you can't create a season. Like the final date of the last game of the season is in the past. So instead of showing this button, notify me to when the NHL season is loaded. So how do we want to do this? I'm thinking. Well, first let's get a test going here. So we're going to say create season test. Got a little bigger. Okay, so let's say it prompts the user to be notified when the league's last game is in the past. Function, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So it prompts the user to be notified when the league's last game is in the past. So let's do this. We're going to say season equals season factory create. And then what we want to do is we want to say now I believe, and I'm just going to double check this because I don't remember. I don't believe there's dates. Oh, the start. Okay, so there is an end date on the season. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going to say start date is carbon parse. We'll say January 1, 2020. And the end date is going to be carbon parse let's say February 1st, 2020. And then we're also going to carbon set test now of carbon parse March 1st, 2020. So this will basically make sure that the date is always in the past for whatever we're trying to do here. Carbon parse. What's the problem? Oh, okay, so that should be closed. Okay. So we now have our season created in the past. So we're going to say livewire test. We're going to set, and I don't remember the, oh, and sorry, and we're going to need team equals team factory create. And we're going to say for season. Okay, good. Okay, so now we have a team. So if we dd season and team, I just want to make sure we're actually getting this. The right stuff is being created. Create season 244. Must be of type array. I don't think that's going to give us what we want. Yeah. Okay, so then we'll just say create season ID is for season ID. Does that give us what we want? Okay, yeah. Okay, so we have a league with an end date of February 1st, 2020. And we also get a team. And so what we now need to do is actually fake creating a season here. So, or trying to create a season. So if we go to the create season, just put that right for the moment. And so what we want to do is we want to say, set selected team being team, and we want to assert see last game is in the past. Sure. Okay, so this should fail right now. Okay, that's good. And so if we go to create season, And again, we're just going to do this in Blade for now, and then we can always extract. Actually, you know what? Let's say no. This should be okay for now. Actually, I'm going to make this full screen. Create season. Okay, so if we go to the okay, so that's the search. Here's the drop-down options. Okay, so if selected team. Okay, so we also want to say if selected team season end date is less than or equal less than now. We want to do something, otherwise we're going to do an else, and then oops. So we want to have so this is going to be what's going to show up. So for right now, let's just have it display that text that we were talking about. So last game is in the past. Okay, so if we go back to our create season test now, this should at least show up. Okay. And we'll do the inverse. It does not prompt the user to be notified when the league's last game is in the future. February, and we'll change the last date to March. And we want to assert don't see. Okay, so at least we have the logic working now. And so what we can do is now we can kind of make it a little bit better and actually do our what we want to see there. So, okay, so it prompts the user to be notified when the league's last game is in the past. That's good. Okay, and so what do we want to do? Let's go into. Okay, so actually, let's go back to our create season. Okay, so it can notify the user when how do we want to put this? Okay, so it will notify opted in users that a previously how do we want to word this? Opted in users that a previously requested league now has a new season schedule loaded. Okay, so how do we want to do this? So we're going to have some kind of like schedule notification table, and we'll want to put that person on it with the ID of the league, right? So so we're gonna have, so how do we want to say this? Expect this acting as user equals factory create, yes. And we want to say Livewire acting as user as well. So we want to say Livewire test, and so let's say we want to call some method called notify on new schedule loaded. And so it's going to receive a what is this going to be? It's going to be a league. Yeah, so we want to send it a league, and then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to expect schedule notifications. Get first, all first, to be user, and to have okay, so it's actually not going to be that. So we're going to say first to have properties user ID being the user ID and the league ID being the league ID. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that doesn't exist here right now. So again, we will, do we not have a before each on this? Is it at the top here? Yeah. Oh, okay. That's fine. We'll just add another one here. So we're going to say, so that's going to create the season. It's going to create the league. I guess really we just need a league. So let's just go like this, equals. Actually, no, we're going to make it so this should work. Don't need the time. Okay, let's do the bare minimum here to make it pass, and then we can always refactor. Okay, so league, factory. One of these days I will learn how to type. Create. Okay, and so that's going to solve that problem. Schedule notifications does not exist yet, so we'll have to make that. So let's just run this test and see where it's failing. Okay, so yeah, so there's no method on the component, so let's create that. This is kind of big, so let's shrink this down a bit here. Function update. What did we call it? Notify on new schedule loaded. Okay. Let's put that right here for now. It's our next error. Okay, so notify. Okay, so class schedule notifications doesn't exist. Okay, that's fine. So art make model schedule notifications, and we will make a migration, and I think that's all we're going to need for now. Okay, run the test again. Class schedule notifications. Okay, so actually let's schedule notification. Okay, so that should now work. Field asserting that null is a type object, right? Okay, so if we now go to schedule notification. So the first thing we're going to have to do is protected fillable. Yep, those. And failed asserting that null is of type object. Oh, this might not work the way I'm thinking it. Okay, let's just okay, it should work. Public function tab properties, iterable names, string message. Okay, for right now, I'm just going to comment this stuff out because there's some other stuff that we need to do first. So let's go create the season here. So what we want to do is, this should be taking in a league called league. And it's not going to return anything. It's just going to, actually, I guess we can return like a true false just to make sure that it's going to return something. Okay, so we're going to say schedule notification, schedule notification create, and this is going to take the user ID as the auth user ID and the league ID as the league ID. Okay. And I guess we can just have it like that, and we can return the schedule notification just in case we want to look at it as part of the return. Okay. So that should create an entry in the database. That has this person in the league. Okay. So if we go like this, I don't think this is going to work. Okay, so let's go take a look at the pest PHP docs, because I know there is a way to check if it has certain properties. So if we go to the Laravel plugin, where it plugins. Okay, so okay, expectations. Expect value to be int, to be 3, to be. I know there's a way to chain these so that to have property. Okay, so let's say to have property user. What is it? Okay, so user ID. User ID. Let's just see if this works. There's no column name user ID. Okay, that's good. So schedule notifications table, and so we need to add these to the table. So it's going to be table foreign ID 4, and this is going to be for a user model and a league model. Okay, so what are we failing on now? Failed asserting that false is true. So it does not have the properties. So let's take a look and see what it's actually creating. Okay, so it's creating a model here. It's got a user ID and a league ID. Okay, so what? Okay, so obviously property is not going to do what I hoped it would. To have properties, yeah, like this is expect user to have this array. Match object equal. Okay, so I know there's a way to chain these. So if what I want to do is I want to say like, okay, so expect this first, and then so it would be like to look at the first and to pass it like a property itself. Let's see here. Might just be like this, user ID to equal, or I guess I could just use to be. League. Okay. Does this one work? There we go. Okay, cool. So now we have this notification concept, like a model of a notification. And then what we can do is we can create well, how do we want to do this? I think as part of the season, the season ingestion process, we will then look to say if there's any users that have this or that exist on this table, if they exist for the league that we are creating a season for, send out the notification and then remove them from this table. So let's go and say create season test. Okay, so this is for the season creation test. So now we're ensuring that they're going to be on that table. What did I change? Okay. And let's just run PHP stand just to make sure I didn't break anything with types or anything. Okay, good. And so now, how do we want to do this? We want to, let's create a new test, art, make test, notify users on new season. New schedule load test. Okay, so actually, you know what? I'm going to go back to this for no. Okay, notify users on new schedule load test. Okay, so it notifies users on new schedule load. Sure. So we're going to say league is going to be a league factory create, and user is going to be a user factory. So we're going to got to import that. Okay, and so we want to notification equals schedule notification create user ID yeah. Yes. Okay, so now we have the notification, and so we need to fake out, let's just write this out. So we need to fake out ingesting a new season for that league. Then we need to ensure that that an email notification is sent, and then we need to ensure that user is removed, user league combo is removed from the schedule notifications table. Okay, so these are the steps we got to figure out here. So we have a league, and we are going to go look at our other tests for creating a new season. Oops. Fetch NHL test. Okay, so that's too low a level. We want to, I think it's create new season test. And this has a bunch of, oh, okay. This is exactly what we want here. It's too much, but that's okay. We're going to fake out a bunch of stuff and get rid of a bunch of stuff we don't need, but this is generally what we want. So we're going to, okay, so we're going to import fetched team. I don't even know if we need to do all this. Yeah, because we're going to need that as well. Okay. So in fact, we can just... Yeah, whatever. We'll leave it all for now, and then we'll see what we can get rid of in a minute. Okay, so this is... Okay, so we have a season now. And the league is the league ID. Okay, perfect. So this is already set. Okay, so that fakes out ingesting a new season for league. Yeah. And no, I don't know if this is actually going to work. It might be relating or expecting some other stuff happening, like some fakes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the create new season test, and let's also fake all this stuff out too. And again, we're just putting this in the test for right now, but we will, I'm going to extract a bunch of this stuff out to like a before each so that it's not in every single test. I just want to see if we can get this test working, and then we'll worry about that. Notifies user and schedule load. Okay, so logo. Why is it new season test? Am I doing something wrong here? Okay, so why is this? Is it because we're faking out some kind of name that we shouldn't be? I don't think so. Because really what this, it should be happening on this create new season, like the, in fact, let's get rid of this. Let's go RM tests feature notify users on your scheduled load attempt. We're just going to put this right in the create new season test. So this is all duplicate. Create new season handle. Okay. And so, right. So now that there shouldn't be anything happening here. Class user not found. Okay. Okay, so user schedule notification. Okay, so it shouldn't really be doing anything here. Logo for this still not found. Why is that happening? None of these other tests are having issues, are they? Nope. They're doing the exact same thing. Do I need to like officially define the league? It shouldn't matter. Okay, so league. Let's move that there. Just move this up for a minute. Okay, so it's not failing anymore. So that's fine. Okay. So why now, if I do this season so that we can get rid of, yeah. Okay, deal with that later. Okay, so we're faking out the ingesting a new season for the league. Okay, so now we can actually write our test here. So we want to say expect, and so actually we're gonna have to add mail fake to this as well. Just want to make sure that it imported the correct facade. It did not. Okay, good. Okay, because yeah, we don't want to be sending out actual emails while we're doing tests. So we want to say mail assert queued. And what do we want to call this? We want to call this notify user of new schedule. Sure. And yeah, fine. Return mail has to user email. Yep. And mail subject. Is there a? Oh, I probably not. Okay. Well, notify user of new schedule. Is that an actual thing? I don't think it is. Is it? Notify user of new schedule. Okay. Yeah. No, it's not an actual thing. Okay. So. What do we got going on here? Assert queued, notify user of new schedule. Sorry, just give me 1 second here. Okay, and we also want to say, right before it does this, we want to make sure that there's no mail queued. Assert nothing queued. Basically what we want to do is we want to make sure that there isn't like something else happening, like some side effect up here that's causing another email to be queued. We want to make sure that this specific thing is what's generating that new email. Okay, so, and then we also want to ensure, so that, okay, and then we also, okay, good. We want to make sure that expect schedule notification all to be empty, because we basically want to make sure that once this email is queued, that that person is also removed from the schedule notifications. And then actually, let's be even more explicit here. Expect get, so we're going to say where blah, 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 get. So we're being really explicit that the user ID and the league ID specifically don't exist, because what I'm kind of trying to avoid is that we just delete all user IDs things. And actually, I wonder if we can do, okay, so let's go like this, league 2. And we're going to create another schedule notification. Actually, no, we're going to keep this one simple for now, and then we'll create another one that makes sure that the combo is removed. So expect schedule where user ID to be empty, and then we're also I'm just going to create an empty test for now. It does not remove users from the schedule notification table if a specific not remove all of a user's entries the schedule notification table if only one should be. And so the idea is like if the person has added to be notified on two different schedules, that we only want to remove the one that we're specifically notifying on. The other one should kind of be left alone. So this will just be a, I think there's like a to do. Good. Okay, so this test should fail. That's fine. We expect it to be failed, to fail. So we're going to now create this mailable. So art make mail. We want it markdown, and we want it notify user of new schedule. Okay, notify user of new schedule. Okay, and so now we should be able to import this. And if we go notify user of new schedule, yes. Okay, so what is it taking in? It takes an email address and a public string league. No, we want the entire league. And so how do we want to do this? Let's say league league, and I think what are the properties of full name? League full name is back for another year. Set up your new season today. Okay, and so the block route is there. We don't even need the email address because we're going to have that as part of the message. Oh, actually, no, we do need that because it's part of the block route stuff. Okay, so notify user of new schedule. And before I do this every time. We got to change this to plain text because otherwise it tries to format the markdown and it breaks stuff. So, so we can say league full name is back. And so what is the message going to say? The league full name just released their new schedule. Just released their new schedule. Log in now to set up your new season. Set up to configure the new season for your squad. And let's do it. And this is going to take you to I can never remember the I don't know why I put it in there. No, we want it in the mail. Emails. No, is it mail? Yeah, mail. Plain text user. News. Wow. Notify user new schedule. Okay, so change this back to plain text again. And I need to see what the button is supposed to look like because I can never remember the formatting. Okay, so it's just straight up like this. Just route create season. Okay, so now I want to say mail dot notify user new schedule. Yep. Okay, so and the last thing we need to do is we need to say it is extends mailable implements should queue because we always want to queue it. So let's see if we get past the original part. Okay, so mail is not queued. Okay, so that's because start queued because we're not actually sending it yet. So let's go to our create new season. Create new season. Okay, so here's the job that actually ingests all of that stuff. And so what we're going to say is, okay, so after it's created the season, it's out of the venues, it's out of the teams, it's out of the games. Let's go this notify waiting users the season with the season model. Okay, and so what we can do is we can now go function notify waiting users with a season called season. And I don't think we need to return anything. Okay, so model season, fine. And so what are we going to do? We are going to, for each season, schedule notification, where league ID, okay, where league ID is the season ID as notification. We want to okay, facade, yes, and we want to notify new user of schedule. Okay, mail to, yes, and it's notification user email. Okay, so the first thing it should be doing, schedule where the league ID is the season league ID as notification. So mail to that user and with that email season. Okay, so in theory, this I think should actually work. This test should pass, or this part of the test should pass. This expectation is not going to work yet. So let's just comment that out. So this test should pass. No, okay. What did it? Attempt to read property email on null. Okay. So notification. Okay. So we need to add the relationship schedule notification. So func user, and it belongs to a user, and we're going to return this belongs to a user class. And we can also duplicate this for the league. Oops. Notify. Okay, so argument 2 must be of type league. Okay, so that's fine. So we're going to season league. Too few arguments to function envelope. Exactly one expected. Okay, so what did we not do? Schedule notification, notify user. Okay, so on the envelope, it's not pulling the league. So what we really want is this league. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's go green. Okay, so we got green, so that email is being sent. Okay, and then we also want to make sure that there's no scheduled notification, which obviously is not happening yet. We're not actually removing them. So create new season. And then, so now we have this scheduled notification, so we can say notification. I can't remember if, I think it's just delete. Because basically we want to make sure that each notification as we're sending out an email, we can just nuke it, kind of thing. And actually, I think what we want to do, thinking out loud here, I want to do soft deletes on this table just in case for some reason we ever have to pull it back. I can't imagine we ever would, but I would rather just have them there just in case. And so if we go schedule notification, use soft deletes, yes. Okay, so now we should have a scheduled notification event or model, and then it should be deleted once it's been notified. So this should now be green, okay. And so the next thing we want to do is we're just going to copy all of this into this test, get rid of the to-do. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to duplicate the league, and we're going to call this one NHL, League 2. I guess we're not actually looking at that, so we can just create the notification without actually assigning it to a variable. Okay, so this time we are going to need it though, because League 1 is going to stick around. And let's just make a function here. Function create. And we're going to take in a league. Okay, so now what we can do is get rid of all this and just say this. Actually, I think we can just do create league. Did I create season? Whoops. Create season of league. Okay, so just to make sure, season equals that, and we're going to okay, so there we go. So we're going to return this. Okay, and so now we should be able to say season equals that. So this test should pass again. Okay. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to go League 1, League 2, which one do we care about? So we want to create Okay, so now we have 2 seasons for 2 different leagues. And we're going to make 2 notifications for that user. So notification 2, notification 1, and we want to expect notification 1 to be empty. Expect number 2 to I don't want to say this. Expect schedule notification all first to be right, because we don't want to notify yet. So we want to say, so we want this to be this, because we're not going to create that season yet. And I wonder if there's a to be deleted. No. Notification 1 fresh to be empty. Well, asserting that an object is empty. Why would that be? Just go like this. Okay, so this is gonna, yes. Okay. Just turning on my heater here because it is freezing cold. Okay, so I just want to make sure we're testing the right stuff here. So we create the league, the leagues, and the user. Create the 2 seasons. Sorry, we create the concept of a season, then we actually make just 1 season. So we're only doing okay. And so what the idea is that this one should still exist because we haven't actually created this actual this new season for this league. And so we should the only notification left should be this one because we haven't actually ingested that that schedule yet. So in theory, I think we're good. Again, I'm just going to check something here. Sorry. Okay, so let's run PHP stan because I'm not convinced I didn't break anything. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so which one is it failing on? Create new season. Create new season. And so what are we? Access to an undefined property, league ID, and league. League ID and league. Okay, so we're just gonna is set season league ID and is set season league. Okay, so now we're making sure that these are actually going to have values before we try and send them. Okay, so I think we should be able to run our test suite here, and I think it should all pass. We haven't removed anything, we haven't changed any functionality, we're just added stuff so far. And the last thing we'll have to do here is the actual get note, like the visual part of the form to say, like, you know, this season doesn't exist. I want to get notified. So let's see. What do we got to do here? So if we go to StubSquad and we start typing Calgary. So Calgary Flames. Okay, so this one, that's happening because right now the season end date is still technically in the future. So let's just set it in the past for the time being so that we can see what it's going to look like. Okay, so Calgary Flames. Okay, last game is in the past. Okay, so let's make this form. So create season, and so it's going to be right here. Okay, so if selected team season end date is less than now, last game is in the past. So how do we want to do this? I think first let's copy this. We're going to change it, which is fine. Okay, so right now it's just the same button again, but we're going to fix that. So let's go. How do we want this to look? So we're gonna, I can't remember what we called that function now. Notify on new schedule loaded. Notify on new schedule loaded, and this is going to be the selected team season league. And it's going to say notify me when next season is loaded. We can even do select a team. This is going to be season. I think it's just logo URI. Yeah, logo URI. So this should be selected team season league. Calgary. Notify me when the next season is loaded. Oops, loaded. Okay, so now if we go Calgary, notify. So we want to actually flex item center. Okay, so we actually don't want that flex. Let's go like this. And we're going to say what do we want to say? We want to say the schedule for this season, for the selected team season league full name has for the next season has not been released yet. Okay, and this is going to look horrible again, but we're just going to play around with this and see what we can come up with. Okay, so yeah, that's obviously not great. What do we want? so we're in this. So let's create a new div here and duplicate. We're going to say class equals but we're going to do flex call. Yeah, figured that was going to happen. Why is that not? Schedule for the next has not been released yet. Yeah. Yeah, so it's underneath there. So if we get rid of those, Calgary Flames. Okay, so so we don't need that because it's already got the margin on there. And let's take a look with our dev tools. Okay, so M2 top, T2 top, let's get rid of that. Right, because there's already an MT8 on the button itself. Yeah. Let's go MT4. Calgary Flames. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now I just got to make the text look a little nicer. Okay, so I think what we're going to say is on dark text is going to be zinc 300. So that should make it brighter. Okay, the schedule for the next National Hockey League season has not been released yet. Notify me when the NHL season is loaded. Okay. And then if we go to light mode and we start typing here, apologies, and yeah, so that looks better. Okay, so the only thing I want to do here is I want to say text center. I just think it looks weird all left aligned like that. So the schedule for the next National League hockey season has not been released yet. Notify me when the next NHL season is loaded. Okay, and so flip back there. And I think the only other thing that I want to do here just for fun is, yeah, so we just want to add a toast to say, you've been added to, you'll be notified. Okay, because the idea is if I click this, when I say notify me when the next season is loaded, okay, so actually what we want is we want to, this should be a redirect response, I think is what we want, because we want to return redirector. And so we're going to create that, and then we're going to redirect to route dashboard. Yeah, is that not... Oh. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if I click this, there should be a toast that pops up in the bottom left here to say that it's been notified. 404 not found. Fantastic. Now, is that me breaking things? 404 not found. Oh, because it's expecting a league. Okay, so I guess what we need to do is so on the create, because you can't, it's not an actual model that's being passed, this part of this, we're just going to send back the ID. Notify new schedule loaded. Okay. Okay, so Calgary Flames. Oh, I guess we should migrate art. Migrate. And there's the toast. Obviously, I'm not going to be in there yet. So notify me when the next season is loaded. You'll be notified. Beautiful. Cool. Okay, I think league full name. I think this feature is good to go. So I think adding ability to be notified on new schedule load. Okay, so adding ability. Okay, so let's just make sure that so all the tested pass. Last check with PHP stand, just because this gets annoying if I forget. Returns eliminate HTTP redirect response. Okay. So instead, redirect response. Okay. One last check. All right. So let's commit that. Okay, so back to Notion. So hang tight, a new season is coming. Okay, that's good. And then last thing we want to do, should just take a few minutes, is to make this nav bar not sticky at the top of the screen. It's just going to be a part of the page, just like everything else. So if we go to layout blade, layout app .php. Okay, here. Okay, so somewhere is the navigation menu. Okay, so it's right here. So how do we want it? Navigation menu blade. Okay, so I think we just get rid of those. Yeah. And then primary navigation menu. Don't really care about the Z index anymore because nothing is going to be underneath it. Okay, so the only other thing we'll need to do is deal with this crazy extra space here. And I don't think that's padding here. I think that's on here. Yes, it's the margin top. There's still quite a bit there. Page heading. Where else would there be spacing? Let's take a look. PY12 on what? In the main class. Okay, so it's on, oh, that's annoying. Dashboard, so. Okay, so that's better. What about, okay, that's fine. What about if we make my picks? Okay. Admin looks fine. Share your tickets. That's fine. Okay, so maybe it's not as bad as I was thinking. The last thing we need to do is just add some padding to the bottom of the dashboard here because that does not look great. MB8. Yeah, that looks better. How does it look on the other pages? Okay, so it looks fine there. Actually, let's get rid of the MB8 there. And let's do this properly. So layout, app, PHP. Let's put it actually above or on the MT8. Okay, so now, okay, so that looks horrible. So let's fix that. So what are we doing? This is on the game selection. Blade. PX4. That should be the whole thing, right? Yeah. So really we just want where is that coming from now? MT4, 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 MY4, MT4. So where's the bottom padding happening here? Let's take a look. So flex call, justify between. Yikes. Okay, so that's back on the layout app PHP and main flex call 1. Well, this is annoying. Where snapshot? Okay, so what else is? Okay, so this is on the Livewire component 4. It's got to be the game selection. Oh, right. This. Nope. MX Auto. No. Oh, it's the PY stuff. I am not paying attention very well here. Okay. So that green area should be gone now. Yep. And the button does not need padding. PY2. Margin. This. MT4, because we only want it on the top. There we go. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the other screens and take a look at where they are broken. Make my picks we just looked at. Admin, how does this look? let's see. Yeah, so admin season, the blade, so the py2 we don't need. And on the button, it's just going to be MT4. Okay. And actually, it doesn't even need that much because it looks like there's already some other padding there. Yep. Okay, so that's good. What else do we need to do? I think that's mostly it. Share your ticket screen. There's nothing that ever comes close. So if we go Calgary, just choose a draft order or whatever for now. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so let's go fixing padding on copyright on footer. Okay, and I just want to see if that action has run. Okay, it failed. Why did it fail? Create season must be type int. Okay, right. So create new season test. So when we create this new season, where's the? Is that not the right one? Create season test. Call league ID. Ugh, I hate when it does that. Okay, so create season, and this can also be a redirector. It depends on what context it's being called from, whether it's being called from a test or whether it's being called from the actual like instance of it in the real world. Okay, and so what's this one? This is the create season test. It prompts the user. Prompts the user to be notified when the league's last game is in the past. Okay, so oh right, because we got rid of that actual text. So what is the text now? Create season. Notify me when the next. This to be that, and we want the season league full name. Okay, that test passes. Okay, so fixing failing tests. We can push those up. All right, so take a look. So that stays there. We're on the full screen. Yep. Just flies with the page. That's good. And I think, if we look at Notion again here, update top bar from being fixed to being just a banner that scrolls with the page. Yep, that's done. I think we're good to go for today. Went a little longer than I was expecting, but that's okay. So I feel like that's how my life goes lately. Fixing failing tests. Okay, so that's going to push up, and I think we're good to go. So just kind of as a really quick recap. So what we did today is on the create season flow, we created a notification for people who are season ticket holders for a team in a league that has not released their new schedule yet. And so when the new schedule is loaded, or when they want to go create the next season for themselves, it will notify that, or gives them the option to be notified when that season's schedule has been loaded into the system, so that they can come and start creating their season for their squad. And then the kind of last little thing there that we did was just update the top bar to being fixed, or from being fixed to being just a banner that kind of scrolls with the page, just like most websites. So I think with this, I'm going to call it quits. I'm not sure how often I'll be streaming again this week. I'll be back definitely next Sunday evening at the regular time, but I may be on Thursday or Friday, depending on how things go, to get some more stuff done. So yeah, thank you very much for joining. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. This should be up on YouTube in the next little while here. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Catch you later.